Gwen, it is so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming back to the show. You were with me when I really needed you when we first were doing the shows from the home shows, and we were on Zoom. And do you remember you shaved my initials into Blake Shelton's head.
One of my favorite moments of my life was actually doing that. Two of my favorite human beings. I get to create art it wasn't very lasting though. It did grow out, but
Yeah, I
that was
figured.
amazing.
Yeah, I figured. I liked
I
him.
never thought I would be with someone that had a mullet ever.
I
And
think he pulled it off. He looked good.
yeah, it looked good. I was sad when he wanted to hack it off. I was really upset about it, but
I don't know how this is true, but I was researching some things before this interview, and I saw that it's the 25th anniversary of Tragic Kingdom, of No Doubt's Tragic Kingdom. 25?
it's so crazy.
How's that
It's
possible?
true. I don't know. And I think last week I started posting and looking at all these people posting, and it was really emotional, like in a crazy way I wasn't expecting. Because I don't really care about anniversaries, but you start to actually think about it, especially this year with everything being so crazy, and just imagining all the people that have come up to me saying, that was my favorite record. And it's such a weird record. Like those songs, like they don't fit in anywhere in this world, but yet so many people connected to them. And
It was the biggest thing in the world. I mean, I was out in LA when it was released, and I was doing stand up, and and like you spent a lot of time driving in LA, and you were on the radio all the time. It was so. I have nothing but great memories from that album. But I mean, when you made the album cover, did you think this album's gonna be big, or it's gonna be a hit, or we're gonna be famous?
Oh, we were trying to make that record for so long. We were in our band for 9 years before that record came out. So we never, we put a fake record out before that because the record company wouldn't put our record out. So we were like, oh, we're just going to put this record out. And I did all the collage for it. I went to Kinko's and I Xeroxed all these pictures of us. And we put this record out called the Beacon Street Collection. Just kind of like, well, if you're not going to put one out, we'll put this really bad one. No, the record we put out was kind of all the songs that didn't make it. So
Sure.
obviously not the great songs.
I love
but,
you went to Kinko's and made a little. That's so cool. And were they like CDs you handed out at concerts or sold or?
I think we sold them out of our van or whatever. We were just trying to make it. We weren't even trying to make it. We just wanted the fans that came to see us to have our music on a record, because at that point, Just a Girl, we were playing that live for over a year before it ever came out.
It was such a different sound. And something I just had not heard. Like your voice is so different, and like I go like, oh, what is this? Like it's like ska,
Yeah.
but like who is this singer and what's going on? And Just a Girl, and you go like, I loved, and I'm cranking it so loud. It was just like, I mean, guys loved it. Everyone now it's an anthem now. I mean,
It's
does it
I
freak you out?
actually named my Vegas residency. I did that for about 2 years, which was amazing. And I named it the Just a Girl Show, basically, because it just felt like so right. And the show was very much reflective of kind of the moments in time of all the different versions of me. And but I always thought that song would kind of be outdated in some way, or I'd outgrow it because I'd be like a woman or something. And and it still is so relevant. It's insane. So
Yeah.
proud of that.
Thank you for doing our country bit earlier, which is kind of fun because speaking of country, your song with Blake Shelton, Nobody But You, is up for a CMT Music Award. You're basically,
It's
that's gotta feel amazing, right?
It's really weird. It's just I definitely bounced, in different genres through my career,
Yep.
and it was just kind of easy, like it was just natural. And this was one I never would ever imagine would happen. Although my parents I grew up on bluegrass music and folk, so it's kind of similar in a way. But the first concert I ever went to was an Emmylou Harris concert when I was in Girl Scouts or whatever. So
Wow.
it's just crazy to think that now I'm on two records, actually, country records, and on the radio, like country radio. That's hard for me to believe. But so honored, and I
Yeah.
love the song so much, and I've learned so much about country music.
Country fans don't really let everyone into their world. You can't be a phony because they'll sniff you out. and they'll be like,
Yeah, that is true.
You
And
can-
that's one thing about Blake Shelton. He is not a phony. That guy is like
Oh.
Blake no matter where you are. Like, I remember when I first met him and I took him to some like Hollywood party and I was like, I didn't know what he was going to be like. You know what I'm saying? And he was just him. Again, I bring him to my parents' house. He's him. Like, he doesn't care that it's my dad. Like, he's still Blake. Like,
yeah.
it's just, he's so authentic. And that's what I love about him.
Well, so are you. I mean, did you get to work in any new music of your own?
I have been. I never was like expecting that I would, but I wrote one song and it was like a wildfire. Like I think I have like over 24 songs or something like that. I don't even know how, because sometimes like you press that button and nothing happens, like the elevator stuck. And
Yeah.
this time was like, it was just like coming through and I was like, this is the greatest thing. And it just feels so happy. And it's just so fun to make new music because there's really nothing else that makes me feel that way. And this period, like before it comes out, is my favorite. Like, cause it's yours and you don't like the anticipation, like the excitement is
Yeah.
so big.
Yeah, no one else gets to have any input on it yet. Like, the world hasn't seen it yet. You're like, this is so excited. Like, no one could, yeah, it is a good.
It's like I make up all these like huge dreams and like ideas that people are going to be so excited when they hear it, like I am.
Yeah.
And it's like this fantasy that I get to live in before it comes out. And once the records come out, like you kind of never like listen to them again, you know? And during the demo phase, you're like listening repeatedly and like, it's like the lyrics are like, it's like therapy. It's like they're healing you, you know?
I
It's
can't
just
wait for
great.
that to come out. Can you stick around? I just want to talk about The Voice when we come back. Is that all right?
Please.
More with Gwen Stefani when we come back, everybody.
On and on and on. I said, and it's on.